Okay, welcome. Um, I am here today to talk to everyone about the BA to MA program in Women's and Gender Studies. And if there's anything that comes up, I'm just going to do an overview and then we'll have time for questions at the end. But if you have any technical issues, just like please put something in a chat or do an emoji and we'll have Q&A at the end. Okay, so Women's and Gender Studies at UT Austin. Oh, I have one more person. I'm gonna let them in. Okay, so the BA to MA degree program is a 5-year program. You would complete all of the requirements for a WGS bachelor's degree. But there's also a little bit of overlap that would allow you to take some graduate coursework during your junior and senior year. And then you would be able to apply to a master's program option. So we'll talk more about that. This program is good for folks who are really enjoying their WGS classes, are interested in grad school, and have ideas and passion and research interests enough to where they would want to write a graduate thesis or a graduate report, because that is the capstone on our master's program. So everybody who's in the MA program right now, we have a regular 2-year MA, they write a graduate thesis or a graduate report during the final year of their program. And it's a 2-year program for them. People coming in from UT and from this program have the advantage of getting to know faculty a little bit better, being around UT, knowing the resources that we have on campus. Many of the people that we admit into our regular master's program are not UT alumni, don't live in Austin. So like they are just like on the fast track, 2 years, move to Austin, write a thesis. Wait, what happened? Huh? So I think this is a really good option for people who are already here and already have like some kind of like ideas of like projects and faculty they would want to work with. But let's get into the way the coursework happens. So there's this existing policy from liberal arts that allows students to take upper division, to take graduate classes for upper division credit. You do have to have a 3.0 GPA and have 60 hours of completed coursework. Whoops. So that puts you 60 hours is the end of sophomore year. So end of sophomore year is the ideal time to get involved with this sort of workflow, the program. If it's after the end of your sophomore year, you might not finish in exactly 5 years. So that's like that's why end of sophomore year is the best time to start, because that's how we'll fit it all in. Okay, so a bachelor's degree is 120 hours. The major in Women's and Gender Studies is 30 hours. So this is the WGS major, 10 classes, 30 hours. A bachelor's degree, 120 hours you could do if you did 15 hours each semester, fall, spring, for 4 years. So I'm just reading out some of the math. But basically, this is the WGS major by itself, and you have some space to choose your own courses in some of these areas. You do have the standalones, the core requirements. So you have your intro, you have your undergraduate feminist theory, you have your intro to research methods, feminist research methods, your internship, the senior seminar. Some of these classes only happen once a year because WGS is a small major. So the feminist theory class, we only offer it in the spring. The research methods class, we only offer it in the fall. And senior seminar, we only offer it in the spring. That's because we're a small major. We have 56 students right now. So this is kind of like the ideal timeline of how a student who is interested in the BA to MA program would do their coursework. So they'd have the, freshman year, they have the 305 and they take like another WGS class. They would take their feminist theory class in the spring of their sophomore year, research methods in the fall of their sophomore year, internship, junior year, senior seminar during the junior year. And then here is where we have room to fit in graduate coursework. Because remember, the policy is you can take graduate coursework for upper division credit. So there's 6 hours of additional upper division hours under the WGS bachelor's degree. And you would take grad classes to fulfill those requirements. So you would take one grad class in the fall and one grad class in the spring, and there's like some suggestions down below. And that's the 30 hours for the bachelor's degree. So you'd have these 2 classes that are grad classes counting for your BA. Right. So end of that spring of junior year, you've taken these grad classes, you like it, you want to do more. So it's called the provisional admission. So there's like a form you fill out, you meet with me. I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, yes, I like this. Give me more. So, okay. So the next phase is you're taking more grad classes in your senior year, except they're not counting towards your bachelor's degree. They're being saved for graduate credit. So that means you have to be done with most of your bachelor's degree requirements because you'll be taking 2 grad classes per semester. So 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring of your senior year. And grad coursework can be a lot. So yeah, so you just got to be mindful, like maybe you're finishing like your bachelor's, like you're taking your fine arts credit, or you're taking like, one of your some of the lighter coursework to balance out the 2 grad classes that you're taking each semester of your senior year. And that's being saved for graduate credit. So it's not counting towards your bachelor's degree. So here are some examples, some suggested courses for the fall and the spring, right? So you're chugging along. And then it's the end of your senior year. You've done 2 grad classes in the fall semester. You've done 2 grad classes in the spring semester. Your junior year, you did 2 grad classes. So this is like end of senior year, you apply to grad school. Like this is the official application. It's electronic. It's like the same website. There are a couple spots that you should pay attention to. So it's going to ask you if you're going to have a bachelor's degree by the time you're, for the semester that you're applying. You would click yes, even though you haven't graduated yet with your bachelor's, but like it's, spring. So you click yes. And then the field of study you would choose the one that's not highlighted. You would choose this one at the bottom, this FMA 5-year integrated program, because that's the one where you that's merged with the bachelor's degree. Okay, so summer of senior year, you've been admitted, you're officially accepted to the graduate school. I keep saying the graduate school because the graduate school is literally like its own thing. So if you go to gradschool.utexas.edu, like the graduate school has like all of the authority over graduate programs. So it's like a literal, like you have to apply to be in the grad school, but you've already taken all this graduate coursework. So you have only 1 more year to go. And you've already done half of the work for a master's degree because you did 2 classes when you were a junior and you did 4 classes when you were a senior. Full time for a grad student is 9 hours a semester. So 3 classes a semester. So you'll be done in 2 semesters. So the 5th year looks like fall, you take the thesis class part A. So thesis class 698A counts for 3 hours. Then you take part B, 698B, that counts for another 3 hours. So you put them together and it's like 6 hours. But A and B just means that it's split into 2 semesters. So in the fall, you would take 698A thesis with 2 other graduate level courses, and then 698B thesis with 2 other grad level courses. So that's it. That's the 5th year. You're writing your thesis. You've already taken all of this graduate coursework since you were a junior. When you choose graduate classes to take, they should be things that are going to help you write your graduate thesis. You know, like every paper you write, every book you read should like maybe help you provide some context or explore those like topics that you would want to write a thesis about. And there it is, right? So there's your 5th year, and then you're all done. This is a link to the WGS website. We actually have the regular MA requirements posted, and it's pretty much the same as what you just saw, except like it happens in 2 years instead of 5. And like I said, I think students who are already at UT will have a better advantage than the folks that are coming in from other places. So just to recap, there are all these different phases of the program. Every time you take a graduate class, there's going to be a permission and an approval process, because the grad class has to be approved by, you know, the instructor has to give you permission, and then we have to get permission from the dean, and then the dean has to tell the registrar that this undergrad is going to register for a grad class. And then when you're reserving classes for graduate credit, it's kind of the same. Like you have to have permission from the professor. The professor tells me, and I tell the dean's office, and I tell the dean's office that this one's not counting for the BA, it's counting for graduate credit. And then we have to tell the grad school, and then we have to tell the registrar. So every time you register for a grad class, there's gonna be a process. So just be patient with it, and check in every semester. Like we'll have to, you know, do advising and make sure that you're on track. Yeah, so if you have questions, or if you want to set up an appointment, we can talk more one-on-one. This is my email address as well as my Calendly. I am gonna open the floor for some Q&A. I'm gonna stop recording now. If I can figure out, there we go.